What's up, YouTube? Zachary Michaels here. I'm an actor, and this is An Actor Reacts. Today we'll be reacting to Alicia, the latest album from Alicia Keys. Let's get into it. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And if you're somebody who's already subscribed to my channel, I just want to give y'all a quick thank you because we recently crossed 1K. I appreciate all the support, and I seriously could not do this without y'all. Okay, so Alicia is the 7th studio album from Alicia Keys, released on September 18th, 2020, following multiple pushbacks due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The album was written and produced largely by Alicia Keys and features additional songwriting and production from Swizz Beatz, Ludwig Göransson, Knox, Ed Sheeran, and The Dream, among others, and features appearances from Miguel, Khalid, Platnumz, Sampha, Tierra Whack, 21 Savage, Snoh Aalegra, Sir, and Jill Scott. 7 singles have been released from the album: Show Me Love, Time Machine, Underdog, Good Job, Perfect Way to Die, So Done, and Love Looks Better. None of the singles were breakout hits, but Show Me Love and Underdog both performed moderately well and were certified gold. Alicia debuted at number 4 on the US Billboard 200 and became her 8th top 10 release in the US, while also charting in the top 10 in several other countries. Okay, so I'm finally getting to this album, y'all. I know I've been saying since it came out that I was going to react to it, and Avalon, I hope that's how you say your name, I told you I was going to get to it, and the day is finally here. This will actually be like my first Alicia Keys album that I'm hearing in full. Now, I've known of Alicia Keys since like way back when, like Fallen, but I just never listened to an album from her for whatever reason. I guess just because I didn't think of myself as like the key demographic of an Alicia Keys album. But I'm excited to get into this one because I've heard a few of the songs and I really like the nice chill vibe from the ones that I've heard so far, and excited to hear the rest of them. So let's listen to the album. I like the orchestra right off the bat.
Such a nuisance, trying to kill all the loose ends. Tell me how the truth became so elusive. Them illusions from the fusion, the intrusion. Wondering if I was still the same girl when the girl you knew before she came up. What if I was you? What if I was the same? What about the truth running around with no shame? What if I wasn't Alicia? Would it please you? How would I feed you? Tell me why the hell is I'm always wrong. Tell me why
I like the kind of effect on her voice here.
even when I can say I'm wrong.
Love the backgrounds too. Very full track.
You can't understand me is an understatement. I love you more because I know you hate me. I love you more because I know you forsake me. Lawrence, swear they out here extra salty. Man, they out here extra salty. Truth without love is just a lie.
Truth Without Love. I really like this record. I think it was a good album opener. I just love the overall like feeling and vibe of it. It gives me kind of like earthy, and like it gives me like a beatnik vibe or like world music, something like real open and honest and just like exploring a bunch of different things, you know, like it gives me like a vibe, like all these sounds are just kind of floating together in the air and coming together to make something like really special, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but like the piano and the strings and her vocals and the background vocals, like none of it felt restricted. It was all just kind of very open and kind of floating around and just made for this really cool vibe. It felt so like full and open at the same time. Really liked that one. And like there were some, I was looking at the lyrics too as I was listening. There were some like nice lyrics in there, like the like what would I be to you basically if I wasn't Alicia? Like what's the truth? Would I be a nuisance? Would it, like is kind of, you know, talking some talk that's like real, you know. I really like this track, especially to kind of start off this album that's kind of self-titled, like, Alicia, what would I be to you if I wasn't Alicia Keys, you know? Great way to start off this album. And again, love the vibe. And it gave me the same kind of vibe of the songs that I've heard before. Like, I really like this kind of sound from her. It's like R&B, but with this, like, I don't know, with this, like, other element to it that's a lot more, like, open and, like, almost, like, kind of serene. But yeah, I think I've talked enough about Truth Without Love, so let's go on to the next track, Time Machine. Okay. Was not expecting that.
Mirror, what's in the mirror, yeah. So much to be afraid of, and what we might be.
I like the beat. It's kind of spooky and kind of funk inspired. Like that bass line, I think it is, that is real funky but spooky at the same time. Vocals. This part gives me like kind of a country vibe. Like that feels like a banjo right there. Love that, like, kind of.
Hello? I've been here for like 5 minutes. You always sleep. What's going on?
Okay, so what I was gonna say before that, like, slam startled me a little bit, was I really like the kind of angelic and demonic whisper voices throughout that work so nicely, especially paired with the more like upbeat, funky, like bass line. Like, I loved how, like, kind of booming the like the like bass of the song and then the like bass line of the song, like those two things coming together was real kind of like up tempo and funky. But then you had the other half throughout that was like very like kind of what I was saying on Truth Without Love, like very open and like kind of floating around in the sky, this like airy element to it mixed with that like funk bass line. It was like really those two kind of contrasts coming together was really nice, and it was just like you're floating in the air but also like bopping along, like I feel the airiness gave me like you're floating in the air but then you're also grounded with the bass line, you know. It was a really nice coming together of those two things. I like the lyrics of this song too. I feel like this whole album is going to be super introspective, which makes sense since it's titled after her, but like it's basically about, you know, opening up your mind to see things in a new way and then really becoming enlightened, you know. So I love that, like the message of the song, love the instrumentation of it and the mix of those sounds. And then I really like the video too, her just being kind of funky and groovy at a skating rink, because nobody really goes to those anymore, but like just having a good time and just looking great and just feeling like very free and open, just as a song does. A really, really good song and video. Yeah, I think I'm really gonna like this album. But let's go on to the next track, Authors of Forever.
We are lost and lonely people, and we're looking for a reason, and it's alright.
Same thing, that kind of,
So let's celebrate.
it's got that bass to it, but it still feels very airy, like you're floating, but still grounded.
We can make the whole thing better. We're the authors of forever, and it's alright. We are born on our own, and we die on our own, and we're here to make meaning of what happened.
This makes me think of like a Disney movie, like Phil Collins. It's giving me Phil Collins vibes.
So we're here to make meaning for as long as we're breathing, and it's alright.
I like that.
Where there's light, there must be a shadow. Cloudy skies,
Another really good song with a really good message. I'm really loving most, I think, the production on this album. The three songs so far have been like immaculate, plus the ones that I've heard before, but really, really good production. And it's not just like a beat on a loop. It's not just like 3 seconds just on a loop. Like the songs go on a journey. And I've said it every song, but I love that feeling, that mix of like a funky bass kind of rooting you, and then like the like airy element on top of it, and those two things coming together, it makes for this really cool sound. And I was thinking during it, like, oh, this gives me like Phil Collins mixed with like, off the wall Michael Jackson, like those two sounds coming together to make this really cool, like Alicia Keys album. I really love the sound and the production. Oh, and the vocals. She is singing and using her voice nicely. I love the different ways she's using it, and the like different effects that she's using throughout. Like there's like some auto tune and stuff in there, but it's nothing like overpowering. She's not like singing through auto tune the entire song. It's just like select parts you'll hear something super electronic, and it just adds a nice little touch or little something to the song. Really, really another good one. I feel like I'm gonna like have a hard time at the end choosing which ones are my favorite, because these are just really good songs, and they're like an experience. Like you feel like it takes over you. Really loving it so far. So let's go on to the next track. Hey, okay. Hey.
Don't want your love. Don't worry who's in the night. It's none of your business.
Ha.
Too many times you turn a blind eye to the way I feel. Oh, you're the reason why I'm numb. Wasted energy.
Hey.
Wasted
Energy. Bob Marley vibes.
Broken promises along the way. Lost count of how many you made. My love, my love, my love. And when I try to give you my time, it's never ever ideal. Had to learn it the hard way. Why did you fuck up the chemistry?
Hey. Oh, is this the feature right here? That's all she gets to say? Oh, okay, no, here we go. Nice voice. Wasted Energy featuring Diamond Platnumz. The vibes, man, that's like the perfect word to describe this song. Just, it's the kind of music that you just sit back, relax, maybe smoke a little something too, and just let the vibes take over you, let the music consume you, you just relax and decompress. I love the production on it, that like Caribbean reggae vibe to it, and not like the up-tempo reggae type music, but like the Bob Marley, every little thing is gonna be all right. I love the feature on there, Diamond Platnumz. I thought he was like perfect. I had no idea what he was saying because I'm pretty sure he was singing in a different language, but just his voice was so soothing and matched so well with the beat. And I like that she got like an authentic reggae artist to feature on the song. It all worked so well. And even though I didn't again know what he was saying, it paired so well that it didn't matter. Like, cause even I knew what she was saying, but her lyrics weren't necessarily chill and calming. You know, she was singing about this relationship where she wasted all this energy because the guy was, you know, good for nothing and broke all these promises and made her waste her energy and this and that, and you don't get to know what I'm doing because now I'm alone and I'm better off, you know. So the song isn't the lyrics of the song aren't necessarily like relaxing, but like she's the mood of the song puts you in that vibey atmosphere. It's like the moment after she went through all that trauma. Now she's just like, I just gotta decompress and chill and let all those bad feelings go and just and I love it. It just consumes you with how just like light and soothing it is. Great track and great feature for that one. So let's go on to Underdog. Like her kind of folky guitar.
He was walking in the street, looked up and noticed he was nameless, with a glint in his eye and a corner of a smile. One conversation, a simple moment. So I sing a song for the hustlers trading at the bus stop.
I like her kind of flow on it. It's kind of rapping almost.
On a run from a country where they put you in prison for being a woman and speaking your mind.
Hey, get it. Hey. Oh, I hear some of that like Caribbean. What is that thing? I hear that in the background. Boom, 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 boom. Underdog. I love it. I really love the lyrical content and the message of this song. Like, underdog, just keep going. One day you're gonna rise up and like overcome all these struggles and obstacles that you're like fighting through right now. And I feel like that's not just with this song. That's been like every song so far. I really love the message of them. And, you know, sometimes with like inspirational music or music with like similar lyrical content, it can come off very like cheesy and kind of cringe, but it doesn't here. It just feels real honest and authentic and just open and pure, you know? And like, because it can be like you can enjoy this. It's not just the message, like it's a good message and like it's musically like sound. Like I love that the guitar led bass heavy kind of track and whatever that instrument was at the end, that it gives me like Caribbean vibes, like those big drum things that you hit and they kind of sound like pans. I love that, and the different kind of like world music kind of elements of the track. It works so well. So you can like love this song for both the message and because it's just a good tune to rock out to. I loved just that bass where you get really knocked to it and the people dancing in the video and having a good time. Like this kind of song that really uplifts you authentically, not just you like guilt liking it because like, oh, it has a good message, so I might as well say that I like it. But like, it's just honestly a good song all around. And loving her voice and how kind of light it is so far in the album. Like she's singing too, but I love the more light approach from her. It's just everything is pairing together really well. The production, her vocals, the backgrounds, the different instrumentation, again on this song and all of them so far. But yeah, really good track, great video. Again, she looked great. I love just to see the different people represented in there in both the lyrics and in the video. And then just really, the uplifting message of it and just feeling so authentic and honest from her. But yeah, let's go on to 3 Hour Drive. And this one's featuring Sampha. The vibes, man. Like the water dripping and like I was saying, good use of effects. album feels so perfect for like fall, winter season too.
3-hour drive, and I'm heading nowhere. I've got the time, but now that you're not here, I keep traveling by, keep traveling by.
Love his voice too. What is that back there? I love it. Their voices sound really good together too.
Come back to me, it's more than I can take.
What is that back there? Is that guitar? Or a synthesizer? I don't know what that is, but I love it. This was such a beautiful song. I don't even know where to begin. Just like the ambiance of the song alone. I love how it just feels. It feels like I'm like in touch with the elements and stuff when I hear this, because all the different sounds kind of sounded like wind in there at some parts, and like the raindrops and all the different instrumentation and the sounds and stuff that would just drop in at certain parts. And it's so beautiful lyrically, and like their voices, and when they were singing together, like so sweet to my ears. And just, it was such an experience, this track. I really love that one. Just again, the mood that this track and really this whole album so far has set is just so like it's so like delicious, because it's so rich and different, and like world music and like all the different elements of it. And like, what was that sound that really became prominent at the end, but it was in there a couple times throughout? And like the drums, I'm just feel like I'm gonna start rambling now, but I really love this song, and the mood and the ambiance that it set, and all the different elements and in the production, and their voices again complemented each other so well. And when they came together to sing, it was just like so beautiful, just like the rest of the song. It's just really, really, really good. Shout out to Alicia, shout out to Sampha, shout out to, you know, the producer of this song, and whoever wrote this. I'm pretty sure probably Alicia and Sampha and whoever else was involved in the lyrics, because it's just a really beautiful track, like in all elements of it. Really like touching, you know. But yeah, let's go on to the next track.
I should take a shot in the morning. Cheers to all my fears. Last night I was caught in a moment. How did I get here? Maybe it's not that bad. I shouldn't even care.
Who's she singing with? Is she harmonizing with herself?
I care too much, I care too much, I care too much about you.
Oh, I think this is that instrument again that I was talking about. The one that, like the big drum type thing that sounds like pans almost.
More than myself sometimes. Me. It needs to be about me. This room got my head spinning like a carousel at a fair. I know I should give it up, but there's something about the chase. What I do, I care too much, I care too much, I care too much about you. Yeah, I do.
Or is it a xylophone?
See, I do.
Whatever it is, I love the sound.
It's just me, myself, and I.
Can't believe I tried to help you, then you lied. Like to know you guys.
Okay. Erica Badu vibes.
Tell them stand in line. Baby, I got shit
Like
to do.
Lauryn Hill.
If I was you, I would probably cry and miss me too. This is who? This the new me. I'm getting tricky, boo. Whack and Alicia, well at least I feel invincible. I do.
Hey, hey. Times 7 featuring Tierra Whack. This was a cool song. It was a little more upbeat. Well, not really upbeat. There hasn't been any like true up-tempo songs, but this one, you know, had a little more like knock to it than a couple of the others. But I really loved what the song was talking about. Again, like kind of, you know, I kind of care about you or y'all in general more than I care about myself sometimes. And sometimes, you know, it's got to be about me. And I like that, the vibe of it. It was giving me another one. It was like a little more Caribbean vibe. Really that like, maybe it was that xylophone, maybe it was, or maybe it was like that big thing that I was talking about again where they hit it like that. Whatever sound that was, I really liked that, like kind of leading the song and her voice kind of floating over that. And then I really like Tierra Whack on the track too. Tierra Whack on the track. But like I thought she really added some nice little flavor to it. During I said she gave me like Lauryn Hill or like Erykah Badu vibes, but now I was like, oh, you know what she reminded me of? Like I think it was Left Eye on Waterfalls. I'm pretty sure that's a song where she goes in the like that was a terrible Left Eye impression, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the way Left Eye used her voice, and I'm pretty sure it was on Waterfalls where she like goes into that kind of spoken word type thing almost. Really great addition from Tierra Whack on this track, and I again like the like kind of light kind of approach of it and just the message of the track. But yeah, let's go on to the next track. I'm pretty sure I have heard this song before. Never seen the video though. Michael B. Jordan, Zoe Saldana, and Marco Perego Saldana. Oh, her husband, Alicia and Miguel.
Show me love, treat it like we freaking on the weekend. Show me love.
Love the guitar.
Every time I give you some, show me love.
And the backgrounds.
Yeah, I show you love.
Love the visuals
You was
too.
passionate. I just wanna bask in it. Win it like a championship.
Show me love. Even when you don't got time,
I'll be there to
She gotta have her piano there.
remind you.
like we never done.
Miguel's one of my favorite R&B voices
Go ahead, show
too.
me love. Is to love what it is. Go ahead, show me love like we never done it.
Yeah, I got you running.
Every time I give you some,
Yeah.
I love this. The orchestral, like it feels like all submersive, you know. Oh, and which works her being submersed in the water. Really beautiful song. I love Miguel and Alicia's voices together, and I really love this visual. And it's kind of like what I was saying with, I think it was a song with Sampha, like how I felt like I was in touch with the elements. This video really portrayed that, like Zoe and her husband, like, you know, kind of fighting, and then the paint coming off of them, and Alicia and Miguel like in the rain, and him kind of like floating, and then her being submerged in the water at the end, and Michael B. Jordan like fighting through all that, like coming at him to get to his love. Like I love the visual to this. Very artistic. And I, again, love the song, the instrumentation, the production. I feel like I've said those two words on every song, instrumentation and production, because all the production has been really immaculate. And just none of it is boring. Like they add in so many different things that it's like so intriguing to hear. Love the visual, love the voices, love the production. And there's also a remix of this with 21 Savage, so let's check out that video too.
When you walk in the house, show me love. It ain't even gotta be Valentine's Day, I'ma still leave some roses by the tub. Go through so much in the street, I just wanna come home to a meal in the hub. The ops wanna kill me, you wanna argue, I sleep in the trap and just thugs. But I'd rather you show me some love. And it ain't nothing, it's people who happy and love and behind on their bills. And they ain't pay their mortgage in years. Let me help you fight your fears. Time you realize it was PTSD, you ain't even care. You ain't even care.
Show me love, treat it like we freaking on a weekend. Show me love, we gon' get this love like we never done.
I do like the little extra boom that they added to this remix.
Show me love, even when you don't got time.
I'll be there to find you.
I'll remind you.
We gon' get this love like we never done. Baby, I'm in love. Yeah, I got you running.
Every time I give you some.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I could have done without this remix, honestly. And I like 21 Savage. I just don't think he was needed for this song. I did kind of like the bongo kind of bass that they added to the remix. I guess to make it a little more hip hop feeling. But yeah, Miguel and Alicia did the song enough justice, and I prefer the original version. That I don't think this remix was needed at all. But yeah, so let's go on to So Done featuring Khalid.
I'm so done. God in my tongue, holding me back. I'm living the way that I want. I'm living the way that I lost control over all my energy. Done so much damage to my heart.
I reacted to this when it came
I've
out.
given in.
Go check that video out if you haven't seen it.
Oh my God, I wish I could be better than this. My God, wish I could be.
So done. Khalid, another one of my favorite R&B voices. I'm living the way that I want.
Living away on a high, can lay getting away. Oh no. Oh, people keep changing faces while I'm so jaded.
I like the hairstyle and outfit.
I'm living the way that I want.
Hey. So Done featuring Khalid. I don't have too much to say about this one because, like I said, I reacted to it when it first came out. So go check that video out if you want to see my full thoughts on the song and video. But I liked the song then, and I really like it now, hearing it within the album. I love the kind of dreamy, kind of beatnik vibe of it, and their voices together. And I love the message of the track, like be an individual and just be who you are and live life the way that you want. Really great track. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. Feeling a little like folky country.
Are you gonna see me when light gets dark? Sun goes down over Gramercy Park, and it's become easy to hide pieces away. 'Cause I've been trying to be everything I think you want me to be. I've been trying to fulfill you with your every need. Now you falling for a person that's not even me. you falling for a person that's not even me.
I like that. Give me the beat. I love that it's a little different than the rest of the songs.
Now you falling for a person that's not even me. 'Cause I forgot about the person that I used to be.
Gramercy Park. I really like this one. An interesting track. It's different than the rest of the song so far. Not that it feels out of place, because I think it still works with like the lyrical content and the message and the tempo and the vibe of the track. But it's a little more kind of folk music or country kind of sound. And I liked it. I thought her voice and the record worked really well. It sounds a little more full than the other songs. The other songs were full too. They were just like the other songs felt really open and kind of like many sounds and stuff would drop in. This one was a lot more full and a lot more rooted throughout. But again, it didn't feel out of place, and I thought it worked really well, especially paired with So Done. So Done is kind of talking about like, just living life, as you want to, and this one is kind of talking about having conformed in this like relationship to be this person that you aren't even, and now the person's falling in love with someone who isn't even you. I kind of wish they were kind of switched around in the track listing, like come into this song be like come first and be like, I'm not even a person that I know anymore, and I've just conformed and become this person that you're falling in love with that isn't even me, and then transition into So Done, and now it's like, oh, I'm so done with not being me, and I'm just gonna live life however I want. So I kind of wish these two tracks were switched, but I think either way they pair together nicely, being right next to each other on the album list, on the track list. Really good song though. Love the different kind of vibe from it. Love the like banjo, guitar, or whatever throughout, and the kind of country vibe to it. And I think it still fits in really well with the album, even though it's a little different musically. But yeah, really beautiful one. Let's go on to Love Looks Better. Oh, I know that song too. I saw her perform this at the AMAs, I think it was. Or no, it's Billboard, I think. Hey!
All I ever wanted was a dollar and a chance. Coming from the
I like the kind of effect that her voice kind of sounds like in an empty stadium or something. Yeah. Love the video too.
Hold up. All I ever wanted was a city and some keys. Run through the street now.
Alright. Love Looks Better. Another track that I'm familiar with. I reacted to her singing this at the Billboard Awards. So if you want to know my full thoughts on it, go watch that video. but I really like it. Another one that I like then and I think fits really well within the album, especially with like the messaging of it all. I love the video. That was my first time seeing that, and the kind of, you know, Black Lives Matter meaning behind it and all the different moments that she had in there. And I really liked how her voice on the studio track is kind of like she's in the other video I say that like it feels like a real anthem type of record, and it definitely does. And her voice on the studio track kind of sounds like she's in an arena singing out. Like it sounds real like empty almost and kind of far away. Almost like she's like screaming into a void, like love looks better than all this other mess that's going on. So I love that kind of effect, and I think it really added to the message of the song. Like I said, almost like she's screaming into the void, like love looks better on you. Stop with all the hate, you know? A really good track. Let's go on to You Save Me featuring Snoh Aalegra.
There's nothing like your love. You know I got you. And if I could stay, I'll stay here forever. And if I could be here, we'll be here.
Oh, I like the kind of roughness in her voice there.
Know that you save me. Know that you rock with me. You know I'll be rocking with you. Needed to be reminded. It wasn't awkward.
I really like Snoh too as an artist.
Cause you're standing right here. Hey, I know you got me. And there's nothing like your
Backgrounds.
love. And if I could be, we'll be here together. Cause did you know that you saved me? I know it all. I know it all to you. Know that you rock with me. You know I'll be rocking with you.
You Save Me. It was a cute song, nice simple piano ballad. Honestly though, probably my least favorite track so far. It's far from a bad song. I thought that the piano was nice. I thought that their voices complemented each other. She's really good at picking features for this. I like the lyrics. Love the backgrounds in there. The vibe of the song worked well with the rest in the album. But this is probably the least interesting track, just because the other songs like really took you somewhere. There were so many different things going on and different sounds, and it kind of puts you in this real like space. This song, while it's nice, it doesn't really take you anywhere, you know? Just a lot less going on than I'd become accustomed to in the rest of the album. If this song was probably placed on a different album or something, I'd like it a little more. But after the past 11 songs where there's so much going on, this one like was a little bit jarring by how little was going on. Again, it was nice. I think it just felt a little safe when the rest of the album feels a lot more experimental. But I really do like both of their voices, and I do like that they came together. I just wish a little more was happening in the track. But yeah, that's all I got on You Save Me featuring Snoh Aalegra. Now let's go on to Jill Scott featuring Jill Scott. I love that.
Kiss on me, kiss on me, kiss on me in the daytime. In front of the whole show, so they can all know. I want you to love on me, love on me, love on me.
See what I mean? So many things going on in this other like kind of electric keyboard.
When you are
I love it.
It's a goodness, luminousness, victorious energy. Come on, let's let them see. I want you to love on me, love on me, love on me in the daytime.
Background.
Give them front love, show up for love,
Oh.
show up for love, 'cause the world needs love, don't we all know?
Love. The rain and oh, I wish I didn't have to stop that one because I feel like it's gonna transition perfectly into the next track. But I love that ending, the rain coming in, and then the it's kind of sounded like a fiddle, or it's probably a violin or like a bass or something. But love that sound there. But this track, Jill Scott featuring Jill Scott, I definitely get why it's called Jill Scott. It gives you that like warm, mothery, neo soul rooted, Jill Scott vibe. I love that, and I love Jill Scott coming on there with her spoken word. It just felt so warm and so Jill Scott. Really, really cool track. Another one. Love the instrumentation. Love that kind of that neo soul feel mixed with that kind of almost electronic keyboard in there. Love the different backgrounds and stuff. And again, love when it transitioned into that end because I was not expecting that. All came together really nicely and a great vibe. And kind of what I was saying with the last track, like with You Save Me, like there wasn't much going on in this. It had those little things that just add so much, and I love that. But yeah, let's go on to Perfect Way to Die. That sounds familiar.
Simple walk to the corner store. Mama never thought you would be getting a call from the coroner. She's stuck there singing, baby, don't you close your eyes. This could be our final time, and you know I'm horrible at saying goodbye. And I think of all you could have done. At least you'll stay forever young. I guess you picked the perfect way to die. New job, new city, new her. Bright eyes, you would have been proud if you knew her. A couple nights in detention and it's over. Her whole life's over. Oh, I guess you picked the perfect way to die. Another dream lost. Another king and queen lost. Another broken promise they refuse to make right. But I'll think of all you could have done. At least you'll stay forever young. I guess you picked the perfect way to die. Oh, I guess you picked the perfect way.
That was beautiful. I loved every single part of that. And that was a kind of simple piano ballad that worked so well because the meaning of the song was so raw and real that you didn't really need a lot of other things going on. There was some like orchestra stuff going on too, but for the most part it was just that piano and her voice, and it really got the point across. I got chills a couple times. I, teared up a little bit at the end. It just really beautiful song. And I love that video, seeing all their faces and their names at the end, and just really good. I also really loved how raw her voice felt in that. Like you felt the sadness, you felt her pleading, and it just really beautiful track. And an unfortunate reality for us right now, or not just right now, but extremely relevant right now and prominent and visible. Yeah, really, really beautiful record. Yeah, so let's go into the next track.
The economy did not close down. All those essential workers who had to get up every morning to put food on the shelves and go to the hospitals to provide health care, those people worked. And they went out there and they exposed themselves to the virus.
You're the engine that makes all things go, and you're always in disguise, my hero. I don't know if this helps it, but good job. You're doing a good job, a good job. You're doing a good job, don't get too down. The world needs you now. Know that you matter, yeah. 6 in the morning. As soon as you walk through that door, everyone needs you again. The world's out of order. It's not a sound when you're not around. When it feels like the end of the road, you don't let go. You just press forward. You're the engine that makes all things go. I see a light in the dark. Smile at my face when we all know it's hard. There's no way to ever pay you back. The mothers, the fathers, the teachers that reach us, strangers, the friends that show up in the end. From the bottom to the top, the listeners that hear us, this is for you. Don't get too down. The world needs you now. Know that you matter.
Oh, I like that. Matter.
God bless you and thank you. We all applaud you. We are in awe of you, and we are all in their debt.
Good job. Another really beautiful record. Nice, simple piano ballad that really works because of the subject matter. And really, it's a lot of the same stuff that I said about Perfect Way to Die. Great message, and I love how powerful it feels, and the rawness of her voice really portrays it so well. And I like with this song and Perfect Way to Die, how she's really highlighting on like two big things out of 2020. Two, I don't want to say good things because they're not good things, but the good things that have come out of 2020 while it has been like a year of turmoil, like the recognition that we have to give to the people who are the real backbone of this country and the like essential workers, and then highlighting all that's wrong with like the justice system and this country's treatment of Black people. It's just these two songs, those are like the good things that have come out of 2020, like us having to look all that stuff in the face and not like run away from it. So I love that she's like highlighted those two things in the past two songs. Really beautiful records. Love her voice on them, and just really important for right now. So let's go on to 3 Hour Drive with Sir. I know the name Sir, but I don't think I know him. His music.
3 hour drive. I'm heading
I love those claps.
I've got the time now that you're not here. Traveling by, looking for love. You got me looking for love, and I can't deny. As hard as I try, that you give me life. You give me life.
Oh, he's a singer? I thought he was a rapper.
I can't deny.
3 hour drive. I'm headed nowhere. I keep traveling by.
Nice voice.
By, looking for love.
Oh, falsetto.
Looking for love. You give me life. You give me life.
love that part though.
I can't deny.
Their voices match really well too.
Heart on my sleeve. Know you know me. It's more than I can take. Down on my knees. Come back to me. It's more than I can take.
You better sing. You too, Alicia.
You give me
We need leaders. 3-hour drive, the Colors version featuring Sir. Really, everything that I said about the one with Sampha, just so good. I love the journey of the track, the ambiance feeling, just all the different things going on in the background. I was a little worried going in because one, I thought Sir was a rapper, and then I was like, I don't know how I feel about him like taking over for Sampha, but I thought he did a great job. It's got a great voice. If you are a fan of him and you know any of his songs, recommend them to me, please, in the description, in the comments below, because I'd love to hear some more of his stuff. Great voice, nice falsetto. He also like paired really well with Alicia, and I just really, really love that track. I'd love to hear a version like with the Sampha version and this one mixed together. I don't know if they were singing different verses, Sir and Sampha. I don't remember quite the lyrics, but both sounded beautiful, so I'd love to hear all three together. But yeah, I think that's all I got on this one. Really beautiful track, maybe just as good as the studio version with Sampha. It's just that track takes you on such a journey, you know? But that's the last track on this album. I can say that I love this project. Alicia Keys did her thing on Alicia. So let's get into my final thoughts, and I'll tell you my rating for this project and what my top 3 tracks are. Alicia by Alicia Keys. I'm so glad I finally got around to this album because I loved it from start to finish. Miss Alicia Keys did her thing. I loved all the different influences in there. There was like pop, R&B, world music, funk, reggae, folk, kind of psychedelic, neo soul. Like there were so many different sounds and influences in there, and it all came together for this really cohesive and introspective album. Like Alicia was the perfect title for this project. And I've said many times that I love like vibey music, and this album was that to a T. It was very like ethereal, like it was an experience. Like it almost felt like an atmospheric experience with all the different sounds and elements that you heard. Okay, so for one, I loved the production from start to finish. Like the production was immaculate on this. All the different sounds, the different instrumentation, again with all those different influences coming together for this, again, cohesive project. It worked so well, and the production tied it all in so nicely. Like I loved hearing like the rain and the different, like kind of felt like you were floating on some songs, and then others were more grounded. And then you bring in like all these interesting instruments, and it just, the production, again, shout out to Alicia, because like I said at the beginning, she produced most of this herself, but shout out to all the other producers as well, because just the overall sound of the album was so like open and kind of empty, but like full at the same time. It was like a real and true experience. Like you went on a journey of moods and just feelings while listening to this album. Like immaculate. What else? Oh, the vocals. Now we all know Alicia has a great voice, but I loved how she was using it on this. Like it wasn't just straight out singing on every song. Some were more light, some were more rough, some were more passionate, some were just straight out singing, some were like the big notes, some were light little notes. Like there was so much vocal variety from her on this. Loved that. And then I loved like her lead vocals mixing in with the backing vocals, and then again those different sounds coming in. It was such a swirling experience with all that going on. And then I loved all the features too. I thought she picked great features. They all complemented her voice really well, and they all their unique voices and stuff added so much to the songs. The only one I was like about was that 21 Savage, but that wasn't an official like album track. That's just like a remix that she made, so we'll just like pretend like that wasn't part of it. But yeah, really really loved the production, loved the vocals, loved the just experience of this album. And then to end it off, I really loved the messaging of this. Like I said, it was a very introspective album, and it can be hard making such an inspirational and kind of introspective thing be good, but she managed to do that, because it could be cheesy, it could be corny, it could be like, oh gosh, here we go, like it could just feel like ill, you know, but it doesn't. It feels honest, it feels pure, it just feels real. And I love everything that she talked about, from like the current topics to like the personal things, like I have to take care of myself, and you know, the underdog will rise up, like all the different important messages about like self-love and the state of the world, and just the, you know, keep going. It all was great messaging, introspective, honest and pure, and it came out so well. Again, from start to finish, I love this album. This was like a great like first full album to hear from Alicia Keys. It was, again, immaculate. Alicia Keys still got it in 2020. Not that I ever doubted it. But yeah, again, I'm so excited that y'all kept telling me to get to this, and I'm so glad that I did, because this album I kind of feel like was different from anything else that I've heard. It was so unique. But yeah, okay, I'm done rambling about this. As you can tell, I loved it. So let's get into my favorite tracks. First, my two honorable mentions, Perfect Way to Die and Good Job. Now, these songs may not have been my favorite like musically, but like they're so important that I had to mention them. One, they're beautiful songs, and they're so important for where we are today in the world in 2020, and we need more stuff like this, because at the end of the day, music is about speaking out, and that's what she does on these two tracks, so I love them for that. Okay, so now time for my official top three. Coming in at number 3 is actually a tie between Gramercy Park and Underdog. I really love both of these tracks, and I couldn't pick which one I wanted to put in my number 3 spot, so I just decided to put them both there. I love how both of these tracks sound a little different sonically from the rest of the album, but still feel cohesive in the entire thing. But both of these are a little more grounded, and they're kind of led by that folk guitar, which I thought was just such an interesting choice. And I thought that Alicia's voice paired so well with the kind of like folk music sound. And then I just love the message of both these tracks, like Underdog, like, you know, keep fighting and one day you're gonna rise up. And then Gramercy Park, like, just be yourself, basically. Like you can't pretend to be somebody else, because then, you know, they're gonna fall in love with somebody who isn't even you, and you're just gonna have to keep on faking. Like, just be yourself. Like, that is good enough. So I love the message, love the folk sound, how grounded these two are, and then her vocals on both are just great, as they are throughout every song on the album. But coming in at number 2, I got Time Machine. This is a track that really surprised me. I was not expecting it. This was, I think, the second song on the album, and it was like, I loved the like haunting, spooky kind of background vocals, and just like the huhs throughout, while it still had that like bass knock to it, and like the psychedelic kind of funky like bass or guitar that was in there. It like two almost kind of contrasting sounds came together for this really interesting track. Love the video, just the experience of that song, like, and the out of your mind, out of your mind, out of your mind, out of your mind was just so good. I like love that track. Really, really good one. It's so interesting. Again, shout out to Alicia on the production, because it was just so like, ooh, I gotta listen to that. Ooh, I gotta listen to that, you know? But now my number one track. Love this song. 3 Hour Drive. Both the studio version with Sampha and the colors version with Sir. Just so good. Now this is the track that I was like, definitely like atmospheric experience. Like there was like water in there and all these different sounds that like there was so much going on, but it didn't feel like too much because it was just little things that would just catch your ear and you'd be like, oh, okay. Like, oh, okay, the rain dropping. Okay, the this, the that. Like so many different sounds. Such a beautiful song. And it kind of feels like out of body almost. Like it's definitely, again, an experience of a song. And then the vocals. Both Sampha and Sir matched Alicia's tone so well. And I do love both versions, and I've been listening to both because it's been a little bit since I reacted to the song, so I've heard that song on loop for a while now. While I do like both, I think Sampha's version outranks the Sir version just a little bit because there's something so special about Sampha's voice, and it just adds to that like out of body kind of euphoric experience of this song. Such a beautiful record. I could listen to that song on repeat, and I have been. But yeah, those are my top 3. Number 3, a tie between Underdog and Gramercy Park. Number 2, Time Machine. And then number 1, the amazing 3-Hour Drive, both versions of that. But yeah, now let's get into my album rating. I think if you've watched the rest of this reaction, you already know what the rating is going to be. 10 out of 10. This was just, again, such an amazing experience. I won't even continue to ramble on, but Alicia Keys still got it, and this album is right up my alley. Again, thank y'all for keep on telling me to react to it, because I'm so glad I did. It was just so good. I love the experience that this project takes you on. But yeah, that's all I got on Alicia by Alicia Keys. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this album. Do you agree that this was an amazing body of work? Or maybe you don't like it. I don't know how you couldn't, but maybe you don't. Your opinion is your own, but leave whatever your thoughts are below in the comments. Let me know your favorite tracks, what you rate the album. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thanks for stopping by. See y'all next time.